we've gone all in economically into the AI race, and data centers are being built everywhere. And companies are saying, oh, we're employing AI, we're becoming more efficient. And I think a lot of people don't know what that means, but you've got to start saying it because you want to sound like the CEO who knows what's going on, or the board that's got their thumb on the pulse of modern business and how things get done. One of the big things is AI gets used in a variety of ways, and it is a bit like a black hole. You put something, depending on your situation, into ChatGPT or any other LLMs, and it's gone. It's out there. This idea that you could put a contract in there for analysis, and then the contract is not private in the same respects anymore. That creates liability because there might be client privilege there, or liability because now you have information that's out there that you don't want to be. Tell me about the idea of policy first and then the tools being employed.
Yeah, so there's also, again, there's some AI legislation that's out in the UK and in Europe about what you should and shouldn't do. So every company should have an AI policy. Because otherwise people will just run riots and do whatever they want to go and do. So there needs to be some guardrails about how people use it in any organization. Now, specifically with what we do, because of what we do and the customers we engage with, we have built our own LLMs. We've got 48 LLMs, 2 SLMs. We've built our own. We've got diode technology that goes out into the web. So we don't enable this to go out to the web. It only goes through one-way technology. So anything that we're doing or putting into our own bots, which is our own owned IP, is fully secure. We wouldn't let it go whereas unfortunately some of the names you mentioned there, the AI agent or the AI is learning as you send this stuff out. So it's learning, and this data is out there somewhere. Even if you might think you've just put it into ChatGPT or whatever you've done, whatever you've done, it will help it learn. Now they'll talk about having private solutions for this or whatever. It's still not quite the same. So I think you've got to get the right policy. You've got to make sure that the right guardrails are there. Make sure people aren't using it, because when you put it out there, it is out there. And so we've adopted a completely different policy to that. It's not that we're not using AI, because we are, but we've built it ourselves and put it like a big moat around it and secure it.
You touched on the wedding analogy earlier as a way people could use what we might put on social media to engineer a cyber attack or a breach against you and then people you're connected to your point about the defense contractor and the wedding. One of the things I think that in this space, you might think, what is my little thing? I was drafting an email to someone and I used ChatGPT to help. There's little bits that theoretically, if someone really is interested in your company, that they could use to piece together the jigsaw puzzle of where you're weak or what day of the week is the best day to breach you. And I think that is, again, you alone may not matter, but you plus 5 other things. It's a bit like them knowing every password I've ever used. Well, with that in an LLM, they can probably come up with every iteration I'd ever use again based on, my first pet, my mom's maiden name, and, date of birth or childhood phone number or whatever it might be. And that very quickly could generate a list of potential passwords that, invariably one of them might be right if you fall into that pattern, right? Is that something that is important to keep in mind?
You've got to be vigilant at all times, I think. And AI is it's going to be trickier. It's going to get much harder. So that's why we've adopted AI in what we're doing, because you have to, because the bad guys have got it, so the good guys have got to use it as well.